scheduled for 5:30 outside Black Rock regarding the proposed appointment to the NEC of exec from Black Rock Corporation. Which has a long history of a number of things, but yeah, I'm out here just so that you guys know. Jeez. So we're just out here with them, and we'll take it from there. And a number of you already know about Black Rock, history, involvement in a number of issues that have been covered over a period of time. Thing to keep in mind, this is one of the public-private spaces within New York. And often I've gone to that Starbucks. So I've actually been inside the building a few times on a few marches. So I'm just going to be out here for a bit with them. And actually, since we have a little time, I'm gonna go on and ask a couple of questions. So, anyone want to give a brief synopsis of why you guys are here? I mean, I know the reason, but of course I'm streaming also, so, and other people speak better than I do.
Same. Happy to. I'm just going to pass this off.
Okay.
I'll wait till they're done.
Okay. I guess your name, who you're with, or just, average person, and why you're out here today outside Black Rock.
Okay, sure. And I can go whenever.
Yeah.
Hey there, my name's Patrick Houston. I'm an organizer with New York Communities for Change out here in New York City. We're out front of the Black Rock headquarters, and we're out here with our allies in Sunrise, New York City, Rise and Resist, 350 New York City, and we're out here today because the Biden administration is on the verge of nominating Brian Reese as the director of the National Economic Council, and we're here to tell Biden to say no to Reese. And here's why. First, so first off, Brian Reese is an executive with BlackRock, and we know that BlackRock has a terrible, terrible record on climate change. They're continuing to invest billions, hundreds of billions of dollars into fossil fuels, which are fueling the climate emergency. The extreme wildfires that we're seeing in California, the hurricanes that we're seeing in Louisiana and in the Gulf and the Caribbean, and other devastating climate impacts. So BlackRock is fueling the climate emergency. Reese has been a BlackRock executive, and now Biden is trying to tap Reese for a top position in his administration. Biden must say no to Reese. But beyond that, one more thing is we're also out here because we have to remind BlackRock and BlackRock CEO Larry Fink that it's time to step up on climate. Fink has been full of hot air on climate, strong rhetoric, but weak action that's only going to enable the climate crisis. So we're out here today calling on both Biden to make sure that he's appointing people and executives to his office that are ready to fight the climate emergency and ready to align with 2020 climate politics and the climate reality rather than 2010 climate politics, which is what Brian Reese represents. So that's why we're out here today. Folks can get involved in this fight by going to nycommunities.org or looking up hashtag Stop the Money Pipeline as part of these efforts to hold large Wall Street actors like BlackRock accountable and also to hold President-elect Joe Biden accountable so we can have a sustainable future that works for everybody.
Thank you. So there you have it. Like I said, I don't do a massive amount of talks, interviews, or anything. At least for like the past 3 years, 2.5 years I've sort of avoided. So I usually want to make sure that others are speaking, and those that are a lot more vested and knowledgeable about the issues and about the protests that are going on. And I'm also trying to get more in the habit of doing a lot more interviews. That being said, just to add, the idea of me not speaking as much, that's sort of in the process of changing. So we're out here just for that. Definitely, if you're sharing this out, he mentioned the hashtag, but also if you're sharing on Twitter, feel free to tag Joe Biden. Also, Larry Fink, BlackRock. And again, it's not in regards to against Joe Biden, but in terms of his selection process, which the public, their input is vital and important when you're selecting individuals to head certain agencies that have an impact upon, not just communities, but on a global scale such as this. And environment, economics, it's definitely dealing on a global level. So I'm gonna be out here. The things were set to start at 5:30, and I know it takes a while for things to build up, especially with the weather. So people are, slowly coming in.
Hi, I'm Patrick. I'm with New York Communities for Change.
Sunrise NYC.
Go ahead.
I'm Jack. I'm with Sunrise NYC. I'm with
Hi everyone, my name is Melina. I'm a candidate running for city council. First ranked choice vote election. I'm a renter, and I will also represent non-official Americans for political parties.
Listen, Melina, where's your district? I coincidentally texted Rory this morning. This is in Eastern Queens. So fantastic. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I feel like I have an opportunity to talk about climate change and the real estate industry and the fossil fuel industry.
Awesome. I'm going to want a picture of you and condense that. that's why all of our groups are united on this. And you can't do that if you're going to appoint fossil fuel and Wall Street people to run your administration, because they come in with a set of financial conflicts that mean that people don't trust them, and they're financially conflicted from the jump for that kind of progress. And so BlackRock in particular, as probably everybody here knows, is the largest funder of fossil fuels and forest destruction. They're the biggest financial force pushing money into the climate crisis. So the guy who runs at a high level a lot of their operations around sustainability, quote unquote, is named Brian Reese. Brian Reese worked at a very high level in the Obama White House, where he did a lot of creditable things. Things that are, good things, I think we can say. A lot of us feel like the Obama administration did not go far enough, and in fact had a lot of bad focus on climate, but there's no doubt that they also did good things. Brian Reese, after he left the Obama administration, went to work for BlackRock. And this is where I think things get really sticky, because at BlackRock, there's been very little evidence that the company is doing anything but furthering climate destruction. So specifically, they made a big announcement in January that they were going to put sustainability at the core of their agenda. They did not follow through on that, right? So that's why we're here to send a message to BlackRock and to Biden to say no to Brian Reese. Now, just so people understand, are you broadcasting this right now, by the way? Okay. So people should understand that there's a big fight right now behind the scenes for Biden administration jobs. And our view, and I think the view of all the groups that are here, is that anyone who is a Wall Street or fossil fuel industry conflicted person should not get a top position in the Biden White House. That's just a basic position. In addition, though, we're especially concerned by BlackRock and companies like it. Like, we wouldn't put an executive from Exxon in charge of an area of climate policy. That's my son, Louise.
He's the future. It's the future. That's what you're fighting for.
Future right there.
Yep.
So the thing is that that's the position we take, is that especially if you're from BlackRock, that's not an appropriate job. And there's good reasons for that. So what we're going to do, stop pushing me behind. We're going to take individual pictures, and then we're going to take pictures with all together with this. And then what we're going to do is tweet a whole series of these photos. Now, I can assure you that this protest is actually getting a lot of eyeballs on it from extremely powerful people who strongly disagree with what we're doing here. They think that people like Brian Reese are uniquely qualified to serve in the White House. We deeply disagree with that proposition. So this protest is very much being noticed. We're getting all this stuff to the transition team. There's a lot of beltway maneuvering right now over who's going to get these jobs, and these are critical decisions. So thank you all on behalf of NYCC for being here, especially on such fast notice. And I wanted to ask if anyone else wants to speak from your groups. This is a good moment to talk, and then we'll take some pictures in front, and then I can put you down. Yeah. Does anyone want to say anything from any other group? No need to. Like, I don't want to put anybody on the spot. Okay, let's take some photos. I mean, we all know where we're going. This one says Biden say no. So the ideal here is to get this one with a few people behind it, line it up with BlackRock, and then everyone else behind it.
Actually, nice. That is actually nice.
It's up to what people want to do. I mean, I think if you could create a little space, that's a good thing, you know? Like, it's good if you could be at least 6 feet apart. That would be very good. If you can't, it's not the worst thing, but we're asked to be able to do that. Louie, could you come over here? Louie, come here.
That is actually good.
Okay, so I'm going to do something I don't usually do, which is ask to change a sign. If that's okay. Do you mind if you don't use Reese and DC? Okay, great. Thank you.
Actually, I should have gotten the camera out, but
The reason I asked for that is because we're getting accused of personalizing this to Brian Reese. He's arguing that, why are we attacking him? It's really not about Brian Reese. It's about the company. Does all this make sense? I mean, I think we got the photos we need. This is fantastic. Thank you very, very, very much. Does anyone want to add anything?
he's made the statement very clear. It's not about Biden. It's not about. It's about the background, the relationship to BlackRock. Even the mentioning of the fact that no one would want an executive from Exxon being in charge of the EPA, let's say. So it is really relevant. The selection process that's taking place. I understand Biden's team is in a time-sensitive area where they're trying to get to as many as possible, but it is important.
Namely, BlackRock and JP Chase. And these are, two of the biggest Wall Street actors running the climate emergency. If the target is perhaps these two, then others will likely follow suit. So, Sunrise NYC, Rise and Resist, 350 NYC, 350 Brooklyn, New York Communities for Change, XR. In the last year and a half, we've been holding down a lot of New York City efforts, hitting these Wall Street actors. And things got a little busy up until the elections. But now the elections are behind us. Now there's a chance that we won't take the Senate. And so over the next couple months, we plan to delve back into a lot of these campaigns targeting Wall Street, namely BlackRock and JP Chase. So we'd love to continue to work with all of y'all and all of y'all groups to continue to pull out these two huge actors, especially since, the Biden administration is going to be limited in what it can pass if you don't take the Senate. And so that much more impetus is going to be on climate finance and Wall Street. So we'll be ramping up the next couple months just to give everybody a heads up. We'll probably do a big action in February, big exciting action in JP Chase and BlackRock, just to put that on everybody's radar.
Yeah, why do you just sometime this month do an action at Bank of America on Tuesday? Bank of America is the only bank left that has refused to stop financing drilling in the Arctic wildlife. So I don't have the exact date for the action. Follow @Rise and Resist on Twitter or on Instagram and on the other.
Sometime in December?
Yeah, sometime next time.
Okay, great. Cool. Well, thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Next week at 2:30.
Okay, guys, there you have it. Things will definitely be ramping up. More power to the transition team. I'm going to go ahead and share this out to the groups that are here, but I'm also going to be sharing it out to Pelosi and her people, just because there are a few people who follow me that it'll get picked up by. and with an emphasis on the fact that it's not necessarily about being against Biden, against the transition team. It has to do specifically with the with BlackRock itself, and I look at it as a potential conflict of interest being involved of the Energy Commission. So, Economic Committee Commission. Yeah, I'll be sharing this out later. Feel free to share it. Go through the live stream. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's cold. I'm going to head out. I got stuff to do in addition to this. Solidarity forever. See you guys on the front lines. And I'll share out the stuff that's been going on. Thanks.